Hecarim. You ain't as fast as Nasus, yo. Here come the big dog. It's the Mrbigruss back in the game, yo. Welcome back, bosses. Your man, M to the B to the R. And today we have some Nasus gameplay to you. A little bit different though, as for me right now, I'm here, but I wasn't there. So as you may have seen in my last couple of videos, one, I forgot to record the game audio. This time I recorded the game audio, I recorded my audio, and then I deleted my audio. And then I deleted it from the recycling bin for no apparent reason other than me being an absolute noob at video editing these days. So here I am, going to be commentating over my own Nasus gameplay. The reason I did this, I was going to chuck away the game, but without a doubt, 100%, this is the best game I've played on League of Legends since being back, 2 or 3 weeks now. It's hand down the best game. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. I'm going to commentate myself. I decided to do a new webcam as well, as I thought it just looked weird talking over myself when it's not like lip sync. So we're against Hecarim today. Very odd choice picked into me, you know, that Hecarim, y'all. I'm not really too sure what the idea there was. I really thought when I saw it, and I'm sure I'm saying right now in my video what should have been recorded, is what a terrible, terrible idea that would be. Obviously, we're in gold, you know, I feel that, you know, I'm definitely making a lot of mistakes at the moment, without a doubt. Haven't played League properly for like 3 years and just playing ARAM, I'm very just like, go, I'm gonna kill him, which just doesn't happen with, like, I've lost a lot. It's cost me a lot in lanes within stacks, and you know, even some games we've lost because I've just tried to fight people when I shouldn't because of mana issues, and also just not being all that strong really as Nasus. You know, for sure when you get his ultimate, he is ridiculously strong at level 6 against sort of squishy champs, but it just costs so much to do so, and you know, if they flash and blah blah, is it always worth it? So I have been very much just Rambo, but we're climbing up through the ranks very quickly. I think I'm in my promos in Gold 5 at the moment. I hope if we win them, we'll jump up a couple of ranks, possibly. I've got a good win rate. I think like 23 wins to 11 losses, which is pretty solid, to be honest. So, but like I say, really, I feel that even though we have been out for a while, I definitely feel I should be around the sort of platinum area. To whoever we'll be able to get out of platinum this time with Nasus, obviously it was a big issue that we had when I was streaming a lot back in the day. Just Nasus is very hard. Like, you can carry at some points, but it's just so hard to ever get to that point, and especially when you start playing sort of high platinum, low diamond, and God only knows what happens when you start to get to high diamond. You know, I think Nasus can work in some cases, but your teams are just so aggressive all the time. Like, especially with dragons now, teams fight over dragons more. As Nasus, can you really TP? You know, you could TP down there, but if I TP, what does Nasus bring at like even like level 10? You come with Nasus, probably has like 100 stacks, probably don't even have a sheen yet. All I can do is like chuck my wither out, like, brah, there's a wither. You're not really going to do much, and on top of that, I just lose so much stacks as well. So it's a very hard thing. In Nasus, you just kind of want to be AFK for a good 20 minutes top lane, and then also the issue, even the issue is that when you do AFK for 20 minutes top lane, most likely the opponents you go against are a lot stronger than, or a lot more smarter than what your sort of lower level opponents are. A lot sort of more aggressive. You see, like Hecarim made a really good trade on me. I because of the sort of low level, I thought I could get away with getting all 3 minions, and I did get all 3 minions, but I've lost half my health. The wave is going to shove in, so it's kind of a gamble that I'm willing to take, but. And also because it's Hecarim, I'm not all that scared. You know, if that was Renekton or something, you know, pretty much I'd probably die at level 2, especially running Ghost. Ghost. I've run Ghost every game with Nasus. It's something that I think you can get away. I think definitely when you start playing higher ranked sort of players, I would definitely start taking Flash a bit more often. In some situations, is just the early game threat for them is just so strong because you can just lose so much, right? But Ghost come like 15-20 minutes is just absolutely OP. I love Ghost. I think it's great on Nasus. It just as will be seen this game, there is a clip that, or you saw at the start of the video, how we actually were outrunning Hecarim. That's how fast we were with my Ghost. OP. One lovely thing I do think about the League and coming back to Nasus, I didn't know. I don't know when they actually made that and implemented that change. Is that Nasus now gets 12 stacks for a big minion. That's just crazy. Literally, especially early on, it like doubles your stacks, and missing that's just so devastating. So I'm being a bit more cautious and not greeding for the little one, because same way when it was like 6 before, I'd kind of maybe take the greed. You know, you still would rather the double stacks, but potentially you can get the little one then the big one. It's great, but really now it's not even worth trying to take the gamble. As you miss that big one, it just really, my heart sinks every time. But yeah, things are good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying my content. It's nice to be making some videos again. I have enjoyed it. It's nice being in some open space. I should have come up here a while ago. But well, luckily because of Corona, this has already happened. If it wasn't for coronavirus, then I'd be working and have to making some real dollar. But there's just nothing to do at the moment. I can't be sat downstairs with a wife and a crying baby 24/7. I could go crazy. So it's nice to be able to make some content, and it's good that so many of you guys are still around here. I'm surprised how well my videos have been doing for what they were. So yeah, it's good, and I'm enjoying it. Obviously, if there's any content you'd like to see, I'm happy to mix it up. At the moment, you know, I hadn't really planned to kind of do all these sort of live gameplays with Nasus. It was something that you know, always has worked on the channel. I can't knock it, and I do enjoy doing it. You know, I kind of like sat here. I really want to upload this video because it's the best Nasus gameplay, but at the same time, I just want to play Nasus. I just love playing. I do love just smashing faces with Nasus. But so if there's any kind of content regarding the league, I did make my Valorant video. It hasn't seemed to have picked up so much interest. I guess you guys maybe are not so interested in Valorant. You know, I'm kind of on the fence with it. I am enjoying it, and I have put some money into the game. But mainly, I wouldn't really play it without my buddies. And when you're playing with your buddies, it's not so easy to make videos, or not really too sure what content to make. So it's more one of those games where you kind of can stream. So maybe some more streams is what I'll do in the future, possibly with like Valorant. And possibly some league streams, but at the moment, you know, I don't really get anything off of streaming, and whilst YouTube, there's no real money that I make off of YouTube these days, but it's just kind of nice just to, I don't know, it's there and it can always be watched, and, you know, it gets a bit more attention than what my sort of streams will, because it's hard to, well, I don't have any sort of schedule at the moment. I can just kind of go, the baby's has gone to sleep, so I come up and play a game for a couple hours. Whilst with streaming, you know, I do that, you know, no one's going to know I'm streaming, so it's a hard one. I think with streaming, you really need to be, have a sort of a schedule to make something really, or to get that sort of attention there. But yeah, if there's any kind of league videos you'd like to see, or any kind of content, you know, I have been thinking about making some StarCraft. I was tempted to make some StarCraft the other night, but because I've been playing so much League at the moment, I just feel if I go to StarCraft, I've kind of got placed, I think, high platinum, diamond. It all keeps putting me back into like diamond on StarCraft, and I don't know why. I'm like, I don't want to be in frickin' diamond. I'm not good enough to be like, I don't know. I think my playstyle's like okay-ish, but my knowledge of the game isn't what it once used to be. Like, obviously they've had the 2 expansions since, and I just don't know enough about the new units. So I keep building all the old units, and it just doesn't really work too well. So maybe some StarCraft, but whilst I'm playing so much League at the moment, I'm actually starting to feel like, they say this game was definitely hands down the best game I've played in a while. And there's another video coming up soon where I get 1,000 stacks. Spoiler alert! Spoiler! So definitely I'm getting back to the point with Nasus, which is good. And the problem is you go play like another game where I played Valorant for like 3 days, and I come and played League again, and I just was pretty, I don't know, I was just not really on point of where I needed to be. So it's hard to kind of juggle things. But yeah, if there's some content you guys like to see, let me know, and yeah, I'm happy to work on it as well. You know, as much as I enjoy doing certain things, at the same time, it's nice to interact with you guys and make sure that you're enjoying it. So I want to try and make the most out of it. So we did pick up a nice early kill here. Like I say, Hecarim just really brings nothing to the table against me. You know, we can bait out his Qs like that, and it's going to shove the wave. You can see the kind of damage we're already doing to him. Then is pretty crazy considering we don't even have a Sheen yet. So there was a good gank by our jungler. I can never remember his name. The guy who steals an ultimate. I think he gets double. Did he get a double kill there? Oh, I think. Oh no, Ari. Yeah, Ari was a big issue this game. She was just so late responding to anything. I'm pretty sure he's going to start flaming her in a second. Here it comes. But yeah, he makes a nice gank there. Oh, it was an okay-ish gank. He pushed Hecarim away, and then he decided to chase onto him. And I'm like, well, I can't do anything. I've not got any mana. And Hecarim then decides to go onto him, and then Shaka turns up. And thankfully, Ghost were just able to keep up with Hecarim then, because obviously it would have sucked. Obviously, had he gotten away. This is a really crazy play. I don't know why I actually decided to do this. And this is what I was on about earlier, where I'm just so bloodthirsty. Hecarim was like half health. I've TP'd into like about what, 10 plus 15 minions with a big minion. My ultimate was about 10 seconds still on cooldown when I TP'd in. I don't have Ghost. We had my Sheen, that was probably what sort of spiked my interest, but I literally TP'd in there where I had all those minions attacking me. We just need to like rewind that. Just click backwards and just watch how crazy that actually was, really. I'm quite lucky, or it's just what I was saying where I feel Hecarim doesn't really bring much to the table. I think he's running Ignite, and his Ignite was on cooldown. So I had that going for me, and I don't know, I didn't have like 100 stacks then. We're not really that scary of a Nasus, but it's what I kind of say with Nasus. Once he has a Sheen ultimate, he pretty much can make fights like that happen. Probably not with all those minions. You know, obviously we were successful. Hecarim probably should have tried to fight me a little bit longer than what he did. It's one of those kind of hard things. That's what I'm quite bad at times at the moment. Is you get into a fight with someone, you're like, oh, okay, this is great, and then it starts going slightly against you, so you run away, and then you're probably not going to get away, but you're going to run away, and because you run away, you may as well like decided to try and fight them, right? Like especially all those minions on there. Maybe he goes 1-for-1. Maybe he doesn't die, but you know he's ran away and achieved nothing then. So it's kind of a tough one. It's something that I'm quite bad at the moment, and especially with the mastery points. There's some masteries in this what make us actually stronger the longer we're in the fight. So really sticking in those fights is actually kind of beneficial, really. So if you're going to kind of do it, you kind of just want to stick at it. But that perfect example of how crazy I am at the moment, just doing crazy things like that. But 2-0, like we stacked up really nicely here now. And the game's just going to really spar out for control for Hecarim. Nasus can get like 2 early kills like I have, and he's free farmed. We do have a Ghost ultimate packed up. We've got the Juggernaut coming in. You know, he does pop his Ignite on me, but it's not really so much of an issue. It is a nice ultimate, but I do think... I know, he does catch his ultimate. He did it quite late. I'd have quite liked to have seen him... I'd have liked to have known what happened if he ulted. Does he turn into Hecarim, or does he stay himself? That's the crazy thing. I've ever played an ARAM game with him, and I was playing as Jace. He was on the enemy team. He stole my ultimate as Jace, so he gets the hammer. So he literally turned into me. You know, he was Jace the whole game until he ulted on someone else. So, I think it's cool. I really should play it. I haven't actually played a game with him. I just like to go around taking people's ultimates and see what happened. It'd be cool if he turns into... Well, I'd like to know if he turns into himself or Hecarim. I guess he must turn into Hecarim, right? Or they would have to make so many game changes. We have to make so many changes to the character model for him to actually ultimate himself. Same with like Jace. If he instead of having his chains, he just has Jace's hammer, which is pretty cool. But I think it would be so much of a right to do that. It would be a lot. I don't know. Would it be cooler than him turning into Jace? I don't know. Both are pretty cool. So a team is doing dragon, and this is one of the kind of things here. Like, you know, I'm in a position where I can actually win a fight. But I'm not going to beat Hecarim to the race to the bottom side. He's just so fast. So instead, I've decided to go top lane. And, you know, my team probably could deal with me. You know, I am strong enough, but at the same time, I don't have enough mana. It's one of the issues with Nasus is really, you know, when you're just sat there farming, you do run out of mana, especially if you've got to chuck a wither or two out to be able to sort of protect yourself, as has happened there. And also, I think we had the fight, and I hadn't recooled from that either. So, you know, and we don't have TP, so what do? Do you stay farming top, or do you go roaming? Thankfully, Fresh is able to somehow secure the dragon and my team doesn't fail. But it's one of those things when it does fail. I've had games recently where I decided to stay top, and you get like loads of flame. And it's one of those things, the higher elo that you move up, you know, I can get away with it here now because I know that I'm going to be strong enough. But the issue is, say if they get ace because the Hecarim does go bottom, you know, maybe I still get some stacks and I feel strong enough at this elo to be able to carry, but you start getting to like higher elo, teams finish games quicker. Like at the moment, people don't finish games very quickly. Games drag on. People don't like higher people level. People get a Baron at 20 minutes. People get that the big scuttle crab thing twice in a game. You know, and a lot of games we see no one even takes it. And, you know, stuff like that just forces ejectors quicker to get more turret plate gold. And, you know, there's a lot more gold on the board to take, and better teams with better champions are much better, you know, good at doing that. It's the one thing like with Nasus is we don't really get any turret plate golds. There may be an odd opportunity where, you know, probably in this matchup where we're winning so hard and we back and we're fresh, we can get it. But to the point now where it's like 12 minutes in, I think the turret plates fall off in a minute. And that's at the point where Nasus, only if we've done really well, we'll be able to start taking them. By the time we get there, it's gone. So, you know, the most you really get out of a lane is 2. Sometimes you might get into a really opportunity when you pop your ultimate and you can just go crazy on it. It's something I would never do before is attacking a turret like that. But with the fact that you get 160 per plate, it's pretty huge. So, you know, champs like a Renekton or Garen are much better at sort of being able to bully someone out of lane and sort of force on that, which then allows them to get more gold, which allows the team to rotate better. And, you know, make more ejectors happen, like get the scuttle crab, for example, or the big scuttle, whatever the purple thing is. And, you know, then get your sort of Baron. And if you can get all those kind of gold, you're going to be in a better position to 20-minute Baron. And there's nothing really Nasus can do, especially when your team's losing. It's like something at the moment we're able to still carry, but when your team starts losing higher elo, it's just so hard to really come back with because they just start team fighting. And then if we get called to a team fight at like 20 minutes, I can't do anything, and I've lost all those stacks as well. So thankfully this game has gone perfectly. Oh, it's going well. My team were like three kills down, but we're looking really good top lane. I think we actually we missed a big minion. That sucks. Breaks my heart. I wish I did. I wish I did see that though. It's depressing times. The Hecarim just decided to actually make a roam mid lane there. Somehow doesn't actually kill Ahri, unbelievably. So you know, the problem is he makes that roam happen, which I think is kind of a good idea to roam when the wave's in like that. Nasus is trying to freeze at some point, so by doing that, you potentially, or you should need to get a kill if you're going to do it. There's my example. Turret plates have fallen. By the time I've finally got into a position where I'm pretty damn strong, almost 300 stacks, we could smash that. We'd have killed that turret with my ultimate, especially Hecarim has gone mid, but they just fall off. It's just like rip. Okay then, no worry. I didn't want them anyway, right? But we'll look to force the turret anyway because we're in a position where we want to. I feel strong enough to start winning 2v1s. We want to start bringing people to top as much as possible, really. Now, but yeah, Hecarim, you know, it's a good roam to make because it forces my hand that I have to then start shoving instead of freezing, so we don't get as many stacks. Because we could just sit there AFK farming, but then it just allows Hecarim to get away with doing what he's doing. It's sort of it's the issue with Nasus is like you kind of just want to AFK farm. But if you do AFK farm, then you know the top laner can get away with roaming, or you know, and it doesn't. You also one thing with higher level, you know, you don't the jungler because he's not ganking top, he's ganking other lanes more, and they're more successful ganks. You know, the nice thing, you know, Nasus doesn't create enough pressure to force the jungler top lane. Really, the jungler in some way should come top lane because we need to shut him down. But you know, in a higher elo, they're able to make such an impact elsewhere that it doesn't really matter because Nasus isn't actually strong enough to do anything anyway. So nice damage that we're doing onto him. I've decided this game, because we were so far ahead, that we could rush Triforce. You can see that he's doing nothing to me. Normally, like, if we obviously were losing, I'd probably look to maybe with like Frozen Heart. I do like the Frozen Heart, 20%, and the Aura is pretty solid as long as they have a couple of AD champions really on their team. And just the mana that you get for it, right? 20% and that mana is just beautiful. The Aura is just like a little nice sort of bonus on it. But yeah, looking good. I've gone Boots of Swiftness as well because I just wanted to be really fast. Like when I'm winning, I think it's a nice build to actually kind of go for Nasus with Boots of Swiftness. I guess it's situational, you know, if they've got lots of stuns, you maybe want to have the tenacity, but it stops slows than that, right, as well. So it does really make a nice speed boost. Boots of Swiftness with Triforce and like Deadmans, especially if you get like a Righteous Glory on top of it. Like Nasus is pretty damn fast with Ghost, like you're pretty much going to kill anyone. And Max Wither is just so strong as well. Like it does do a lot of damage. You can see we're chunking him pretty hard at the moment. We're only like 60 minutes in with like I can't. The screen's so blurry. I think like 334 stacks, which is just crazy. You know, the game's just really going to snowball. You see the damage we're doing. I think I decided to all in him now. Oh no, he actually pops his ultimate on me. So we popped my ult. LeBlanc does get a nice chain off here. Really kind of, it was unfortunate because I decided to go under the turret then. We took so much damage, but you see we're very close to killing LeBlanc. But I don't think I was in the position where we could have went any further then. It was unfortunate we didn't get a Hecarim was still trying to go in on me. We do get a nice Q off on him, but I think I'm able to actually, oh no, we did die. I thought I got away. We were so close. You can't actually see my, you can't see my previous webcam. I'm watching what I was looking before. I was like, God, that was literally my reaction. And also we lose the dragon. You know, that's the beauty of Nasus when he's winning like that. You draw LeBlanc. I think was fed at this point. She got really fed this game. She's like 5-0 maybe. I think my 10's what? That's 10 kills to 17. So you know, 2 of them are on me. The team LeBlanc was absolutely stomping our team, and obviously she comes top. So it's great. You know, my team, you know, 4 against 3. They should be able to get that dragon. Especially being the fire drake as well, it's just not something you want to be getting onto a fed LeBlanc. But you know, they overstayed my welcome. I've got a bit greedy. I thought I could kill the Hecarim, and we were unfortunate not to kill both of them then. But solid stuff. You know, we get to come back. I have my Triforce now, and you can see that the power I have, that I can start rinsing and repeating and doing the same thing over and over again. I'm just going to keep that pressure and hope that the thing of bringing LeBlanc top lane. It's going to relieve pressure on Ahri, who's struggling at the moment. I think it's 1 and 4 I just saw, so that she can get some farm and start being able to get some items. Yeah, 6-0 LeBlanc. And the thing is, Ahri, she you know, obviously you kind of want to fed Ahri, but if she can just get some decent charm under someone, that's all we kind of really need. And I can follow up because at this point, 18 minutes in, we're about to hit 400 stacks already. We're strong enough to carry the game as long as my team don't do anything too stupid. Obviously, we need my team to be able to pull off some bits, but this is a nice point. We start creating that pressure. We don't want to create too much pressure because it's the issue. What you have to be watching all the time when you are Nasus in the situation. If we look at the mini map, it's me, Hecarim. I think we saw Alistar. You can see LeBlanc at the moment, and we can see Kaisai. So that means I can start getting a bit more aggressive now. But our jungler's like pretty much AFK farming in the jungle. Ari's in base. Ezreal was in base. So there's no map pressure. There was literally nothing happened on the map. I think at the time only Ari was on the board. So there's nothing happening there. So we have to be careful. As much as I kind of want to draw them top, if I do draw them top, my team's I may die for it. I may not. But my team's not going to make anything happen. And if I do die, then it's just an absolute complete waste, right? I agreed his ganks early on were great, it's what kind of got me to a nice point, but him coming topside now just makes no sense. We don't need a gank, we don't need anything, we are Nasus, right? We don't need any help, so him coming top when my team's getting absolutely annihilated bot side just doesn't really make any sense. I think a really nice big play comes here, so I decide quite greedy that I'm going to go in here. We do get ulted by Hecarim, and I think we get hit by a Jack-in-Box. We can see that the damage we're doing already with my Ghost. I actually luckily get the right Shackle then, which is always good. And you see the damage we do to our block then was absolutely insane. And this is the crazy moment. Oh, I hadn't popped my Ghost. I had my Ghost now. We're like, Hecarim, you ain't as fast as Nasus, y'all. Here come the big dog. It's the Mrbigruss back in the game, yo. Boom. Chuck that surrender flag out. And a triple kill for Nasus. Big dog in-house. And yeah, Nasus full stacks. I think we're like 477 or something. And this was one of the kind of points as what I touched on in my 1,000 stacks video that's coming up to come in the near future. Dun, 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 is that Nasus, when he's this fed at this point in time and you got this many stacks, he's stronger now than he is when he has 1,000 stacks. Sure, we have double stacks, but at the moment, because we have the kills behind us and we have these so many stacks, this is about as good as it could get stacking wise, to be honest, at this point in time. You can see how much did we. It was like a 3v2 because it was a 3v2. They pretty much chucked everything on the jungler, and I was able to clear it up because of it. But the issue they have, if you then try and stack up to 1,000 stacks, they get all their items, right? I'm at a real nice point now to be able to make something happen. Maybe not necessarily a group fight because we are very squishy. I've completed my Frozen Heart. But we are squishy Nasus, but being able to force them in top lane, I will pretty much win any 2v1. Unless we get CC'd up to death. But generally speaking, if I Ghost and ultimates up, we're going to win the 2v1. Whilst if you get to 1,000 stacks, generally probably 1,000 stack Nasus will win a lot of 2v1s. But by the time Nasus has 1,000 stacks, it's generally around the 40-minute area, unless you've just been like F, or I don't know. Generally speaking, for Nasus being near 1,000 stacks, he's been stacking up like a god, and you're generally winning pretty hard. So you want to kind of force that issue and make things happen as quick as possible. Otherwise, you kind of just waste that time, and they get their items, and then they start being able to get a bit stronger. And then your 1,000 stacks don't really feel as strong as 500 stacks at 22 minutes. I think that's this is a really nice sort of peak. Around the sort of 600 stack mark is when Nasus, especially if he's hit it around around the 25-minute area, Nasus is just sort of godlike. As proven now, that triple kill we got them was insane, and you see how much damage we did to their carries. Like when we get on top of a carry, we would just detonate them. Obviously, the only issue you're quite subjected to is like Alistar. He's got some nice CC to kind of bounce us back, and then us getting kited is one of Nasus's biggest issues. And it's the hard thing is like you kind of want to get on your target, but you can't always get the wither off, and then you end up withering like a crappy target, and then you get on the target, and you kind of wish that you had your wither. So it's hard to sometimes where do you actually place your wither? Sometimes you just have to put it on the tank, but ideally you really want to be getting it on that carry because it just, as much as the slow is great, you have to remember that it reduces, I can't remember what the percentage is now, but it reduces their attack speed by so much. It is just such a huge crippling spell for carries. It really, really is. The slow is pretty goddamn strong as it is, but the reducing their attack speed like it does is huge. So trying to put it on the carries is always nice. So we do actually TP here. I kind of feel that I prefer to actually stay topside. It's kind of one of those things with Nasus, like he could TP down. I do TP down, and I think maybe if we hadn't a TP down, then maybe LeBlanc might have cleaned them up. Because of it, LeBlanc has to run away. I don't actually end up killing LeBlanc here. I checked my flag out. I was like 100% she's dead, but she baited me around like no one's business. This is my second wither on her, right? But she gets off the chains and she goes, and there's no point chasing her any further at that point. So I couldn't believe it. And Shaco for some reason decides to. I don't really know what happened here. I think he got a bit lost. He just decides to like try and defend the turret and dies. Not really sure. Like, and there was no reason to do that. I didn't even know Shaco was there. He just come out of nowhere and just walked on the turret. So go hi. But yeah, somehow LeBlanc does actually survive that. But the thing is, we would have absolutely annihilated top lane then. We'd probably even get onto a tier 3 and take that, because I had my ult on that. And the ult's just so good. You know, don't be afraid of popping your ult on turret to get it. You know, it can be really nice and beneficial, especially if it's like for a tier 3 inhib. Just go in there and get it. And even if you die for it, I think it's worth it, as long as they're not going to potentially get a Baron off of it. So, you know, we did kill Shaco because he was an idiot, and we get a tier 1. So it's not too bad, but it's kind of one of those things, you know, would my team have got destroyed by LeBlanc then hadn't we come down? Like, we slowed them up and it made whoever, they were chasing someone, so it made them run away. Hadn't we TP'd in, maybe they would have stayed there, but at the same time, maybe we would have got more top. And it's one of those kind of things. But the hard thing is when you're kind of in two minds about doing it, and the longer you think about it, the longer you leave it, and you finally do go bot, and then it's too late, and then you're just like, I wish I just stayed top. But you know, we did get something off of it, so it wasn't too bad. It's kind of one of the things, like, we're at a point where we can make something happen, but at the same time we can make something happen top, so it's hard to know what to do. So we do know that they're all mid at the moment, so this is the perfect opportunity where, well, it's not worth my time right now. If we had TP, maybe we would have TP down there, but it's not worth my time going bottom. Like, by the time I walk over there, they've all gone, and the wave's got on the top, and we could have just got top right, but unfortunately, the LeBlanc was still actually topside, so we ended up not being able to take the turret. But they made sure LeBlanc wasn't there. Then that's the kind of nice thing we want to be doing with the pressure, is making sure they're not there. Unfortunately, Shaco come up. I decided to queue. I was like, in my mind, I was like, I shouldn't queue this, but I'm going to queue it so we can get the next queue, and then he just comes and steals it. So I think we would have, with an EQ, we would actually secure it. So this was actually a really good example of me sort of tunnel vision. I decided we did actually kill the Shaco. But I thought, for some reason in my mind, I just saw LeBlanc and I went for LeBlanc, and as you can see, this is what I was talking about. I withered LeBlanc, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you got Kaisai literally 4 inches away from you, Rambo, you know, withering her, well, she should have been the target to kill in some sense. Withering her would have crippled her, but I thought there was more than Fresh there. It was just me and Fresh in like a 4v1, 4v2 situation, and I didn't know what happened. I think I had tunnel vision for LeBlanc this game, and it was a bad fight. Well, I kind of was overextended in Fresh. You know, we got a kill 1 for 2, but ideally it wasn't really ideal because I was on a killing spree. So you know, it wasn't the greatest thing to actually ever happen. But yeah, had we maybe went on the Kai side, it'd have been different. But I think LeBlanc and Alistar there, we probably don't kill anyone anyway. But yeah, there's kind of the things where you got to be, you know, as much as you might want to go for your target and chucking my wither on her, especially because she is actually just as fed as what LeBlanc is. I think at this point in time, it would have been it would have been a really nice play. But nonetheless, I think it was 6-6-6 at 26 minutes. This is about as good as it's going to be, really. I do pop my ghost here. I'm like, God, I need to get in here as quick as possible to try and help my team, but I don't think we actually make anything happen. It's like, I can try and tunnel vision for Kaisai, but Alistar just knocks me back. And then I try and bring back for Fresh, but unfortunately, he was just far too low, and Hecarim does actually pick up the kill. So I kind of get torn there, and my team get a bit destroyed. I think we're like, what, 22 kills to 30 at the moment, so it's not really looking very good, especially when like 5 of them are on me. But we're almost 700 stacks, and we are looking very strong as Nasus. Definitely feel that we can carry, but it's just you know, trying to get in the right position where my team obviously making fights when we're not there, and you know, losing a lot for it. I think like Ezra, I don't really know what's going on there. He got into a fight with Kaisai where it just wasn't really a good place to be. So they do pick up Baron, which is a nice Baron, and this is where like better teams would actually start maybe to force the issue and make something happen off of it. Fire Drake was up at this point, and we kind of want to deny them the Fire Drake so they don't get the Epic Dragon. And I was very late rotating to this because they took the Baron, and I was like, wow. I thought they were going to get to the Dragon first before taking the Baron, but I was like, they're never going to. Dragon's long gone, so I wasn't actually that bothered. But thankfully, it is still up. So if it gets stolen, I'm not too sure. Obviously, Shaco is around, so Ezra gets it. So it was definitely there to be stolen. But this was actually really good because they greeted for the dragon. They were actually full health, to be honest, but I think they were quite split. Shaco obviously tried to go for the steal, and Hecarim kind of altered in with no one behind him. And then Kaisai there was actually really crazy. She tries to go in without any backup. Like, we zoned LeBlanc out. We don't actually kill anyone, but I think zoning LeBlanc out then was, you know, enough to do, especially with Hecarim dead, that my team was okay. Maybe had Kaisai played it better with Alistar there, she might have done more, but she decided to go like all Rambo. I don't really know why it was really kind of a poor decision by her to go so Rambo there, and it did actually cost her. So we should be able to do it. So quite crazy. It's not every time that a team get Baron, like team ace your or almost ace. I did that, of course. But a team like ace your team, get Baron, and then end up losing a tier 3 or tier 3 and an inhib. It's not. No, it's normally how it does the opposite when they have the Baron, right? So super big play for us, and then we're having super minions up. It just allows me to force the issue. Really, I want to force the issue at this point. Like, we can't team fight, and you know, I don't know. Maybe you should team fight at this point as Nasus, but my problem with Nasus, he's not really that great at team fighting, because you know, unless I have my ghost up and we can charge at someone. Even if you have like a Ghost Righteous Glory, you have to just charge straight at your target. If I'm the only one who engages, and I'm pretty much the only engagement here, unless Fresh actually has some godlike hook, you know, what can I do? Or Ari, we don't really have. I don't know. We have some engagement in some sense, but it's not really the best. It's better for more like sort of countering. You know, Ari dashing out someone and charming someone, and Fresh getting like a counter hook. Really, you know, engaging with a Fresh hook, or I don't know, just standing in five and getting a Fresh hook. It's probably not going to get the sort of target you want. Thankfully, they're all kind of squishy. But I can't really just charge forward when you've got like Alistar, who's just like the perfect quarterback. He's like, you're going to come at me and just, I'm going to headbutt you and knock you away. And then I've lost like half my ghost and I'm getting attacked during all that time. Because I've got knocked away, I probably haven't actually even withered my target. And it's all just sort of wasted away. But nonetheless, you know, you can see because of the power and the damage that we've just done top lane and the stacks that we've got, we've really forced us here. We get a TP on the backside. Their team's kind of overextended a little bit here. So if I actually get anything, I just decide to just kill their backline. I was going to chase after LeBlanc. We did actually have Ghost up. Again here, like I could have chased LeBlanc, but I know I ain't going to kill LeBlanc. But the nice thing is one LeBlanc runs away, Shaco can't engage, Alistar, I'm not sure what Alistar actually did, and Kai'Sa was locked out, so we didn't actually make too much damage actually happen in that fight, but I pushed everyone out of the zone, which was really nice, right? We bullied everyone away. You know, as soon as we come in, LeBlanc runs away, Kai'Sa can't engage, and we end up killing her as well, and Shaco had to run away. He did actually pick up a kill because someone was low in the end. But so that's one of the nicer things that you can do, because we were so strong, we didn't really make too much happen in the fight, and because I bullied them away, whoever, I don't know, I think it was Hecarim went in, right, on his own, and maybe Alistar joined them, I'm not too sure. But I knew at that point my team, you know, surely aren't that bad that they'd be able to deal with that situation, which they did, and it worked out really nicely. And we should be able to end the game here, possibly. LeBlanc obviously is still here and put some damage out. I think I decided to all in to get that turret. I think I actually, no, maybe we get away. I think Fresh gives us a godlike lantern. I was like, that was a real sweet lantern. And my ultimate just about to come up. The ultimate cooldown these days, when you got like 40%, and I think we get a kill here. I do die. Do I die? Jesus Christ, Nasus, you're so strong. Wow, double kill, triple kill. Jesus, where's that penta, yo? So yeah, no, I actually remember this now. I was like, Fresh's hook. I thought I was about to guarantee just to go in there and die for the turret, but Fresh got off some like crazy ass. Well, I didn't get just standard lantern to be honest, but somehow because of our healing and actually within Kaisai this time, we that was just crazy, right? And that's Nasus, and that's why you want to kind of. I think we end around about 800 stacks. You know, you don't need any more stacks than that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 item Nasus with 800 stacks. You don't need anything more than that. You will just destroy, even when their team had a fed LeBlanc and a fed Kaisai, and you know, my team weren't really doing all that great. I think they pulled it back in the end. The jungle, I think our jungle. Well, I will have a look at the scoreboard in a second. But you know, that's what Nasus can do, and it was the best game we had on Nasus. We played. I think there was one mistake when we had the Fresh play. It was me and Fresh. Like we could have maybe played that a little better. But other than that, I think we played the matchup really great. It was the better game that I've actually had here. I decided to honour Fresh because I was like, damn man, look at that. That was a sweet ass play. You know, it was pretty much me, but it was a nice lantern that did actually save my ass. But you can see the deaths that we had on my team. Ezreal did actually kind of pick himself up, but mid really struggled. Even the jungler had like 10 deaths there, right? I think we do get 3 honours. The S+ gameplay, bro. Oh, 3 honour Nasus, yo. But yeah, super sweet game. Picking Hecarim, it was just like, I don't know. I just never know what it was going to do. Maybe he can kind of get an ult off, but I just think Hecarim is a lot stronger in the jungle. But picking him into Nasus, I didn't feel like there was any threat there, right? And it was kind of proving there was no threat as we kind of really did freely farm and absolutely destroy. Thankfully we did have one or two nice ganks from the jungler, which really helped out. But yeah, solid game. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was definitely the best game that I played on Nasus to date. We were on point, but like I say, because it was Hecarim, it was just an easier matchup. And then Shaco jungle as well was just not very scary either. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. You take care, and I'll see you later. Peace.